Today we are going to learn the poem The Road Not Taken from the Beehive textbook. This poem is written by Robert. About the author, Robert Lee Frost was born on March 26, 1874, and he lived up to 29th January 1963. He was an American poet. His work was initially published in England before it was published in America. He is highly regarded for his realistic depictions of rural life and his command of American colloquial speech. Frost was honored frequently during his lifetime, receiving 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. He became one of America's rare public literary figures, almost an artistic institution. He was awarded the Congressional Gold Medal in the year 1960 for his poetical work. About the title of the poem, the road is a symbol of the choice made by us in life. Many times we regret the choice we make, but what is done once cannot be undone. Man regrets for what he has denied himself in life rather than what he has chosen. Hence, the poet has given his poem the title, The Road Not Taken. The word road not only means way, it also means journey or a stage of journey. Here, road does not signify any ordinary road, but functions as a metaphor of a vital decision in our life. Summary of the poem. This poem talks about the choices one has to make in life and their consequences. One day, while walking in a wooded area full of trees, the poet comes to a place where he has to decide which road he should take. He starts debating over the choices as he realizes he cannot walk on both. However, he decides to take the second path with the intention of traveling on the first some other time in future. First stanza. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. The summary of the first stanza is the speaker describes his position. He has been out for walking in the woods and comes in between the diversion of 2 roads. He stands there looking as far down each one as he can see. He would like to try both, but doubts he could do that. So, therefore, he continues to look down the roads for a long time, trying to make his decision about which road to take. Second stanza, then took the other as just far, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted where, though as far that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Summary of the second stanza. He looked down the first one to where it bent in the undergrowth, and then the second one, and he decided to take the other path because it seemed to have less travelled than the first. But then here he goes on to say that they are actually a very little similarly own. The second one that he looks seems less travelled as he thinks about it. He realizes that they were really about the same. Not exactly the same, but only about the same. Third stanza. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step I had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Summary of the third stanza. The third stanza continues with the cogitation about the possible difference between the two roads. He had noticed that the leaves were both fresh fallen on them, both, and had not been walked on, but then again claims that maybe he would come back and also walk the first one sometimes, but he doubted he would be able to because in life one thing leads to another and time is short. Fourth stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Summary of the fourth stanza. In this poem, the word difference is taken in a positive way, but there is nothing in the poem that suggests that this difference signals a positive outcome. The speaker could not offer such information because he has not lived the difference yet, means he has not seen the difference as of now. The other word that leads non-desiring readers astray is the word sigh. By taking difference to mean a positive difference, they think that the sigh is one of nostalgic relief. However, a sigh can also mean regret. There is the oh dear kind of sigh, but also what a relief kind of sigh. Which one is it? We do not know. If it is the relief sigh, then the difference means the speaker is glad he took the road he did. If it is a regret sigh, then the difference would not be good, and the speaker would be sighing in regret. The message of this poem is Robert Frost's poem, The Road Not Taken, seems to hold out the motto that life is a continuous journey full of divergence now and then. The important thing is to move on without looking back whether the choice of paths taken was right or wrong. The right or wrong or relative terms. We cannot get everything in life and have to make choices. Whatever the direction in our life takes is determined by the choice made by us. In the journey of life, one can seldom come back to travel the roads not taken earlier. Coming to the literary devices, first one is alliteration. Alliteration is a repetition of usually consonant sounds in a sequence of words. Only when the recurrent sound occurs in a conspicuous position at the beginning of a word or of a stressed syllable within a word. It gives a musical effect and also enhances the poem's humor. Example, grassy and wanted where. The consonant W sound is being repeated as at the close intervals. Next we have symbolism. The two roads described by the poet are symbols of challenges and choices that life has to offer. The beaten track symbolizes the easier path and the less traveled road is more challenging one. The selection of the difficulty road by the poet symbolizes man's urge to live life boldly. Rhyme scheme of the poem. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood. That is a sentence A. First sentence is A. I'm sorry I could not travel both. Next line is marked as B. And B1 traveler long I stood. Again A because stood and wood are rhyming words. So we are marking as A and A. And looked down one far as I could. Again would, stood and could are rhyming. So I am marking it as A. To where it bent in the under growth. Both and growth are rhyming, so I am marking it as B. The rhyme scheme in this poem is A, B, A, B, and continues that way throughout the